In this video, I'm going to tell you about the best of the worst Pokemon that can defeat challenges in Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. This will be an analysis of Pokemon with less than good stats and/or typings, but I'll mention their best traits, their stats, and what moves they can utilize to help them win. Now there's a big list of rules we must follow for this analysis. No trait evolutions, no post-game Pokemon, no evolutions, yeah, not even Flareon, despite how bad it is. No legendary Pokemon, no version exclusives unless they're in more than one game, no evolving Pokemon to get stronger unless they have a very bad typing or really low stats. You can push the B button or whatever key you assign to the B button to make canceling evolution for a Pokemon easier. Cheat-coded moves are okay, but only to get necessary HMs. Capturing evolved Pokemon is okay, but only to trade for weaker Pokemon in-game. So now that I explained the long list of rules, let's jump right into this analysis. Very similar to the type rankings, the best Pokemon for these teams will be undoubtedly normal types. Having no major weakness unless paired with flying and getting a same type boost on normal moves. Seems like it'd be unfair to put normal types on this analysis, but not so unfair since there's many weak normal types in Gen 1 alone. Beginning the analysis proper, we have two normal types that are cornerstones of weak teams, Lickitung and Wigglytuff. What makes Lickitung good is that it has decent HP along with great coverage. Also makes great use of Swords Dance. What makes Wigglytuff good is that it has the highest HP of all weak Pokemon, and has the strongest unboosted Hyper Beam, as well as great coverage. Lickitung has 90 HP, 55 attack, 75 defense, 60 special, and 30 speed. Wigglytuff has a huge 140 HP, 70 attack, 45 defense, 50 special, and 45 speed. While both normal types are very slow, they're still bulky and strong compared to most weak normal types. The best moves Lickitung can learn are Wrap, Stomp, Surf, Swords Dance, Body Slam, Double Edge, Bubble Beam, Ice Beam, Blizzard, Hyper Beam, Seismic Toss, Thunderbolt, Earthquake, Mimic, Fire Blast, and Substitute. The best moves Wigglytuff can learn are a bigger list. Body Slam, Double Edge, Bubble Beam, Ice Beam, Blizzard, Hyper Beam, Counter, Seismic Toss, Solar Beam, Thunderbolt, Psychic, Mimic, Reflect, Fire Blast, Thunder Wave, and Substitute. Seeing how many moves Lickitung and Wigglytuff can learn, that alone proves how impactful the normal type was during Gen 1. It's no surprise that either one of those normal types can help a weak team complete the game far better. Next on the analysis, we have three different water types that are also cornerstones of weak teams. Poliwag, Kabuto, and Staryu. What makes Poliwag good is having high speed and makes great use of Amnesia. What makes Kabuto good is having great attack and good defense along with being part rock type, resisting many opponents' moves. And what makes Staryu good is having high speed and well-rounded stats as well as good coverage. Poliwag has 40 HP, 50 attack, 40 defense, 40 special, and a fast 90 speed. Kabuto has 30 HP, 80 attack, a good 90 defense, 45 special, and 55 speed. And Staryu has 30 HP, 45 attack, 55 defense, 70 special, and 85 speed. While all three water types have very little bulk, they're still capable of washing away much of their opposition. The best moves Poliwag can learn are Amnesia, Surf, Bubble Beam, Ice Beam, Blizzard, Psychic, Mimic, and Substitute. The best moves Kabuto can learn are Slash, Surf, Body Slam, Double Edge, Bubble Beam, Ice Beam, Blizzard, Mimic, and Substitute. The best moves Staryu can learn are Recover, Light Screen, Surf, Bubble Beam, Ice Beam, Blizzard, Thunderbolt, Psychic, Mimic, Reflect, and Substitute. While two of the three water types have minimal coverage compared to Lickitung and Wigglytuff, they're still very good for any weak team. Poliwag, Kabuto, and Staryu come with their own valuable strengths that can help a team achieve great results in-game. Up next, we have a rather strong Pokemon with an unusual type, Dragonair. What makes Dragonair good is that it has good coverage, well-rounded stats, and is the only unevolved Pokemon in the analysis that can learn Hyper Beam. Dragonair is also good because it can make good use of the Agility and Wrap combo, and it has Thunder Wave as an alternative to Agility when it comes to Wrap strategies. Dragonair has 61 HP, 84 attack, 65 defense, 70 special, and 70 speed. While those stats aren't perfect, they're still very good for an unevolved Pokemon. The best moves Dragonair can learn are Wrap, Thunder Wave, Agility, Hyper Beam, Surf, Body Slam, Double Edge, Bubble Beam, Ice Beam, Blizzard, Thunderbolt, Mimic, Reflect, Fire Blast, and Substitute. Similar to Lickitung and Wigglytuff, Dragonair can learn a bevy of moves and utilize great strategies to make it very helpful. Even though Dragon isn't a perfect type for Dragonair in this game, it can still do well with normal moves. Next on the analysis, we have two flying types that can actually fly, Farfetch'd and Pidgeotto. What makes Farfetch'd good is that it has well-rounded stats and having the strongest slash of all weak Pokemon. Pidgeotto's not quite as good as Farfetch'd since it can't get Slash, which relegates Pidgeotto to being a bird that frees up the move Slash for another teammate. Farfetch'd has 52 HP, 65 attack, 55 defense, 58 special, and 60 speed. Pidgeotto has 63 HP, 60 attack, 55 defense, 50 special, and 71 speed. While both flying types have similar stats, Pidgeotto is slightly faster while Farfetch'd is slightly stronger. The best moves Farfetch'd can get are Swords Dance, Agility, Slash, Fly, Body Slam, Double Edge, Reflect, Swift, and Substitute. The best moves Pidgeotto can get are Agility, Fly, Double Edge, Mimic, Reflect, Swift, and Substitute. Unlike the other three Pokemon from earlier, Farfetch'd and Pidgeotto have literally no coverage whatsoever. They'd have to rely on Toxic to wear down stronger opponents or use Mimic to copy the foe's move to get something they'd never learn. But other than that, Farfetch'd and Pidgeotto still make for decently good flying types for any weak team. Moving on, we have the strong, sturdy rocks, Geodude and Onix. What makes Geodude good is that it has decent attack and defense along with the strongest explosion of all weak Pokemon. Onix isn't quite as good as Geodude because its attack is far lower, yet somehow Onix's speed is far better. But one good thing for Onix is having the highest defense of all weak Pokemon. Geodude has 40 HP, 80 attack, a great 100 defense, 30 special, and 20 speed. Onix has 35 HP, 45 attack, a massive 160 defense, 30 special, and 70 speed. While both have lousy special, Onix is much faster yet loses out on attack. Meanwhile, Geodude is much slower yet has far higher attack to make great use of. The best moves Geodude can get are Self-Destruct, Earthquake, Explosion, Body Slam, Double Edge, Seismic Toss, Dig, Mimic, Rock Slide, and Substitute. The best moves Onix can get are Screech, Body Slam, Double Edge, Earthquake, Dig, Mimic, Self-Destruct, Explosion, Rock Slide, and Substitute. They might not have great coverage, but Geodude and Onix can still do well in weak teams thanks to their typing of Rock Ground. Onix might be handy with its sky-high physical defense, but Geodude is everything Onix is, but far better. The cooler Onix. Next on the list we have other useful ground types, Diglett and Marowak. What makes Diglett good is having great speed and makes great use of Slash. What makes Marowak good is having high defense as well as getting Bonemerang, a move very similar in strength to Earthquake. Diglett is 10 HP, 55 attack, 25 defense, 45 special, and a quick 95 speed. Marowak has 60 HP, 80 attack, a great 110 defense, 50 special, and 45 speed. While Marowak has much higher attack and defenses, it can't outspeed targets like Diglett can. The best moves Diglett can get are Dig, Slash, Earthquake, Body Slam, Double Edge, Mimic, and Rock Slide. The best moves Marowak can get are Thrash, Bonemerang, Body Slam, Double Edge, Hyper Beam, Seismic Toss, Dig, Mimic, and Substitute. While Diglett's coverage isn't great, it at least has physical moves to help it out. Marowak has far more coverage, but it's just special attacks such as Bubble Beam, Ice Beam, Blizzard, and Fire Blast. With how low Marowak's special is, it can't make good use of its coverage at all, somehow making Diglett a superior ground type. Up next we have helpful plants, Ivysaur and Gloom. What makes Ivysaur good is having the strongest Razor Leaf of all weak Pokemon, as well as making great use of Sleep Powder. Gloom isn't quite as good as Ivysaur due to moves, but one thing Gloom has over Ivysaur is having the strongest grass move of all weak Pokemon, Petal Dance. Ivysaur is 60 HP, 62 attack, 63 defense, 80 special, and 60 speed. Gloom has 60 HP, 65 attack, 70 defense, 85 special, and 40 speed. While Gloom might have higher defenses, it still can't outspeed opponents like Ivysaur can. The best moves Ivysaur can learn are Leech Seed, Razor Leaf, Sleep Powder, Solar Beam, Swords Dance, Body Slam, Double Edge, Mega Drain, Mimic, Reflect, and Substitute. The best moves Gloom can learn are Stun Spore, Sleep Powder, Petal Dance, Solar Beam, Swords Dance, Double Edge, Mega Drain, Mimic, Reflect, and Substitute. Similar to Farfetch'd and Pidgeotto from before, Ivysaur and Gloom have no coverage either, but they have one advantage over the birds. Ivysaur and Gloom can utilize one of the powder moves along with using normal or grass moves to defeat opponents far better. And unlike the birds, they can easily defeat rock types. Next on the list, we have the high voltage orbs, Magnemite and Voltorb. What makes Magnemite good is having the highest special of all weak Pokemon. What makes Voltorb good is being the fastest of all weak Pokemon, just narrowly outspeeding Diglett. Magnemite has 25 HP, 35 attack, 70 defense, a good 95 special, and 45 speed. Voltorb has 40 HP, 30 attack, 50 defense, 55 special, and a swift 100 speed. While Voltorb is much faster than Magnemite, it still can't zap powerfully like Magnemite can. The best moves Magnemite can learn are Thunder Wave, Swift, Screech, Toxic, Double Edge, Thunderbolt, Thunder, Mimic, Reflect, and Substitute. The best moves Voltorb can learn are Screech, Self-Destruct, Light Screen, Swift, Explosion, Toxic, Takedown, Thunderbolt, Thunder, Mimic, Reflect, Thunder Wave, and Substitute. Magnemite and Voltorb have the least amount of moves to use out of all weak Pokemon. even less than Farfetch'd or Pidgeotto. While Magnemite and Voltorb have some good stats, their move pools can't even be considered move pools. They're more like move puddles. Moving on, we have the fiery zodiac creatures, Charmeleon and Ponyta. What makes Charmeleon good is having good speed and good coverage. Ponyta isn't quite as good as Charmeleon due to moves, but two things Ponyta has over Charmeleon are higher attack and access to Stomp. Charmeleon is 58 HP, 64 attack, 58 defense, 65 special, and 80 speed. Ponyta is 50 HP, 85 attack, 55 defense, 65 special, and 90 speed. While Ponyta has higher speed and attack, it can still only use normal and fire moves unlike Charmeleon. The best moves Charmeleon can get are Slash, Fire Spin, Swords Dance, Body Slam, Double Edge, Counter, Seismic Toss, Dig, Mimic, Reflect, Fire Blast, Swift, and Substitute. The best moves Ponyta can learn are Stomp, Fire Spin, Toxic, Body Slam, Double Edge, Mimic, Reflect, Fire Blast, Swift, and Substitute. Charmeleon and Ponyta have better coverage than even the grass types, but they don't have the same great support moves that grass types have. But in a handful of matchups in-game, same type Fire Blast is very appreciated and can go a long way. Up next, we have the Powdery Bugs, Butterfree and Parasect. What makes Butterfree good is having access to Psychic moves, as well as having access to Sleep Powder. What makes Parasect good is its signature move being a 100% accurate sleep move, which lets it make great use of two-turn moves like Solar Beam and Skull Bash. Butterfree is 60 HP, 45 attack, 50 defense, 80 special, and 70 speed. Parasect is 60 HP, a great 95 attack, 80 defense, 80 special, and 30 speed. While Butterfree has higher speed, Parasect has higher defenses to help it take advantage of its 100% accurate sleep move and Spore. The best moves Butterfree can learn are Stun Spore, Sleep Powder, Psybeam, Mega Drain, Solar Beam, Psychic, Mimic, Reflect, and Substitute. The best moves Parasect can learn are Spore, Slash, Swords Dance, Body Slam, Double Edge, Hyper Beam, Mega Drain, Solar Beam, Dig, Mimic, Skull Bash, and Substitute. While Butterfree and Parasect has some moves better than the grass types, they're still not as good due to the former not having same type moves and the latter having very bad weaknesses. Despite their downsides, both bugs will still be helpful with completing the game. Next on the analysis, we have the Rhino Rabbits, Nidorina and Nidorino. What makes Nidorino and Nidorina good is having coverage comparable to what Dragonair has, but with slightly lower stats. Nidorino is 61 HP, 72 attack, 57 defense, 55 special, and 65 speed. Nidorina is 70 HP, 62 attack, 67 defense, 55 special, and 56 speed. Nidorino's stats focus on fast offense, while Nidorina's stats focus on bulky defense. Though, seeing how most opponents use special attacks, Nidorino's definitely the better option between two Nidorans. The best moves Nidorino and Nidorina can learn are Body Slam, Double Edge, Bubble Beam, Ice Beam, Blizzard, Thunderbolt, Mimic, Reflect, and Substitute. They both have identical movesets to one another, but with some mild differences. While Nidorino and Nidorina have coverage similar to the normal types, they still don't have the benefit of same type normal moves. What makes things worse for the Nidorans are being Poison type, basically being vulnerable to Psychic and Ground moves, two of the best types in game. So that alone makes the Nidorans a last minute option for coverage. Last on the list, we have the Infinite Cave Dweller, Golbat. What makes Golbat good is having the highest balanced stats out of all weak Pokemon. Though unlike any other Pokemon on the list except Butterfree, Golbat has no same type moves it can make great use of. Golbat has 75 HP, 80 attack, 70 defense, 75 special, and a good 90 speed. While those stats are great compared to other Pokemon on the list, Golbat still falls short due to its typing of Poison Flying having very many weaknesses. The best moves Golbat can learn are Haze, Toxic, Double Edge, Hyper Beam, Mega Drain, Mimic, Swift, and Substitute. Seeing how extremely limited Golbat's move puddle is, adding Fly to its moveset via cheat code might be necessary. While Golbat might have much higher stats than the Nidorans, it doesn't have nearly the same coverage. It has even less moves to utilize than Magnemite or Voltorb, yet Golbat can still do good despite its many flaws. So now that we finished up reviewing a list of weak Pokemon that can defeat challenges in Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, let's do a brief rundown on what additional Pokemon can get the job done just as good as what's on the main list. Arbok is exclusive to Red, but can make good use of Glare and Wrap. Also gets access to Dig, Earthquake, and Rock Slide for coverage. Clefairy is similar to Lickitung and Wigglytuff with the coverage it gets, albeit much weaker and can't boost its attack. Vulpix and Growlithe are similar to Charmeleon and Ponyta, but with lower stats. Vulpix has access to Fire Spin, while Growlithe has access to Agility. Venonat is similar to Butterfree, albeit far weaker and slower. Has all the same upsides and downsides Butterfree has too. Meowth is similar to Farfetch, but with far lower attack and a bit more coverage, though it's just Bubble Beam and Thunderbolt only. Seal, Goldeen, and Wartortle are decent alternatives to Kabuto and Staryu, but have no real niche that stands out other than Wartortle having good coverage. Krabby has very high attack and access to the auto-crit Crab Hammer, while Shelder has very high defense and access to Clamp and Explosion, though Shelder doesn't have good enough speed to utilize Clamp properly. Bellsprout is similar to Ivysaur but having access to Wrap. However, it can't auto-crit with Razor Leaf due to its low speed. Also can't trap foes properly due to its low speed too. Sandshrew is similar to Geodude but doesn't have the rock type to help it withstand hits better. It gets access to Slash but can't auto-crit due to its low speed once again. Horsey is similar to Staryu but doesn't get Psychic, though it has agility to help fix its average speed. Last and least, Hitmonchan has the highest attack stat of all weak Pokemon. While it gets same type on submission, it's still not a great move to use. You'd be much better off going with Seismic Toss's coverage. Finally, we finished covering all weak Pokemon that succeed within a typical playthrough of Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. While the list is rather small, there's plenty of other Pokemon that are far weaker and won't compare nearly as well. But when it comes to building weak teams to counter Kanto's biggest challenges, you can't find better choices than what I mentioned. Hey look, that's all I got for now. If you enjoyed my analysis on the best of the worst Pokemon to complete a playthrough with, please give it a like or comment telling me what you enjoyed the most about this video. Until next time, have a good day.